Um, Thanks for everybody who is already tuning in. If you'll give me just a few minutes, I've logged in a few minutes early because I want to get the computer set up so I can see your comments and answer any questions that you may have. So give me just a moment and we'll give a little bit of time for everybody else to kind of get going in here. So let me get this turned down. Is everybody having a good day so far? Let's see. All right, hang out with me for a few minutes, guys. Let me get this set up. It's the first time I've done a YouTube live, so we are figuring it out as we go. So let's see here. Susan Hawka, I hope I said that right. The earrings I have in today are going to be one of the videos for Bead Therapy coming up. Yay! Okay, so I can see the comments there. Okay, let me see if I can find the comments on my tablet here. Thank you, Jessica. So I'd love to know where everybody's from as we're waiting. We're going to wait about 3 more minutes because I want to start at 1 o'clock sharp. Cynthia, hello from Chicago. I'm curious. I didn't see on the news. Cynthia, did they turn the river green in Oh, Sacramento, New Hampshire, Oklahoma, Charlotte. Wow, lots of people are jumping in today. Yay, okay. All right. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to go off the screen for 1 minute so I can hand over my computer. Okay. All right, Jenny, here is the comments. You see them there on the side? Okay, so I have my assistant, Jenny, with me today. She is helping me, and we are self-distancing. She has her own computer. She has her own desk, and we have another person here self-distancing. So we are self-distanced from each other. So, okay, so basically, thank you everybody who is jumping in. For the last 2 days on our Facebook group, we have done bead therapy. So in the times that we've got going in right now, it's so uncertain. Everybody's anxiety is high. We have no control over what's going on. So I decided to try to jump on every day around 1 o'clock and let's all have bead therapy. And basically what bead therapy is going to be is every day at 1 o'clock, I'm going to jump on and show you a project that you can do. And hopefully you will already have the beads at home to make it. These are going to be simple projects that won't take too awfully long to do. I'm going to try to keep it between 15 and 30 minutes. Some of them may leave a little longer or, whatever. But the good thing is, if you don't get in till, halfway on the video or whatever, the video will stay here on YouTube. So YouTube. So if you miss it, you are going to be good to go. The point is to have a fabulous time and let's all just have some bead therapy. So, any questions so far, Jenny? We good? Okay. So, here's the deal. Jenny is monitoring the comments because I don't get to see all the comments on my phone screen here. So, if you have a question while I'm doing this, please post it in the comments and Jenny will read it to me and I will try to answer any questions for you. So, the last 2 days, I have showed easy rings. So, one ring that I showed is this right here. It's called the Lucky Rainbow Ring. This is what it looks like right here. It's 6 colors of size 11 Delica beads. You can also make it with regular size 11 seed beads. The other ring that I taught yesterday in our Facebook group was this fun little ring right here. I don't know if you can see it good. There we go. It is called the, got one on this finger here too. This one was the color block ring. If you want to see the videos for either one of these projects, you can go to our Facebook group. We'll try to link it after I get finished with the video. I'll try to link it in there. And also what we'll do is the patterns for these are free on my website, which is off the beaded path beadstore.com. So you can go to the website, look under step-by-step tutorials, and when you get there, you'll see these patterns completely for free, as well as the patterns that I'm going to be showing you today. So today, we're going to do a really simple peyote tube bead. And the peyote tube bead, I'm going to show you two kinds. One is going to have 2 colors, and the second one is going to have 3 colors. So the first one is about a 1/2 inch long, 1/2 inch to a little over that. And the second one is about 3/4 to an inch long for little spacer type things in a bracelet or a necklace. So 2 to 3 colors of size 11 Delicas. I'm going to be using a size 10 or 12 beading needle. Either one will work. And you can pretty much use any thread that you want. So you can use 1G, you can use Nymo, Dura thread, whatever you want to use. I think I'm going to be using some KO thread today. Let me see. Yep, I have my KO thread today. I'm using the white. Now, just know that you want to try to keep a really good consistent tension on these little peyote tubes. If your tension is too loose, you're going to come up with a squishy bead, and you're not going to have good form and texture to it. So if you're a loose stitcher, you may want to use a higher one to actually do this project with. If you are a really tight stitcher, you know, you're fine with whatever. So I want to show you what the patterns are going to look like. So this is the first one here. This is going to be for the 2 color one. And then this is going to be your second one. Both patterns have the graph and the word chart. And again, they're completely free. I've already got these listed on the website. And again, that's off the beaded path beadstore.com. So the good thing with both of these patterns is they're pretty easy to, once you get them started, they're really easy to follow without necessarily having to have the pattern.
Is KO better than 1G?
Is KO better than 1G? Some people will say yes. Honestly, to me, I don't see a really big difference in the two. I use 1G just because I really like 1G. But I mean, I use it all. I have it all. The only thread I just really don't love is Nymo thread, and again, it's just because it's what you get used to. But I like the 1G and the KO thread. To me, they're a lot the same, but now I know somebody who says, no, I hate 1G, but I love KO thread. So it's kind of what you use and what you get used to. So any of them will work, so you're good to go. Now, I will tell you, go ahead and answer one of the questions, well, 2 questions that I've got the last couple of days on the Facebook group. So people have asked, what color lipstick I am wearing today. So this is by Well People, and it's called Optimist Semi Matte Lipstick. New Mystic is the color. And this one can be found at Target. The other question I've been getting a lot is this one here. This is fringe earrings. They're super easy. And again, I will show those in tomorrow's Bead Therapy, or a version of them. So get ready for that. So I'm going to flip the camera. So if you get motion sickness, look away for just 1 minute. So that way you won't get sick. And I will let you know when we're going to start over here. Let me flip the camera.
Is there a video for those earrings?
Okay, there is not a video for the specific earrings that I have in, but there will be tomorrow. I do have a couple of different, let's see, what is it, the long fringe earrings and the short fringe earrings are already on our YouTube channel. Okay, so these here are the little 2 color beads, and these are the 3 color beads. You can see the 3 color is just a little bit longer, and it's so that you will get the continuous pattern and you don't know where you started and where you stopped. You can also see here that I've got one ready to go to show you how to zip up. This one is using a turquoise and a green. So give me 1 second here. I want to show you a couple of little things. All right. So for today, a size 11 Delica beads. You can use a regular size 11 seed bead. Materials for tube 1. Now this is for 1 tube, okay? I've got turquoise and black. You need 48 of both of those beads. Okay, the 3 color ones, it's pretty much the same. You're going to use 48 of each of those colors. Now, here's the fun thing. Everybody has been asking online the last couple of days where to get a pattern for these toilet paper earrings. Pamela Wellborn, she is the owner of Violet Bead. She has the pattern for sale for toilet paper beads at violetbead.com. The tutorial is $3. So just to give everybody a heads up about the toilet paper earrings everybody's having a fit for. So that is for that. Okay, so let's get started. You can see here I've got head pins. I have my ear wires. You need some bicones. And of course you need 2 colors of seed beads. Now, let me grab my pattern here. Okay, so we have a bead chart and we have a word chart. Here's the thing with the word chart. If you have never read a word chart before, the number here in parentheses is the number of beads that you will pick up. The letter next to it is the letter bead that you're going to pick up. So in row 1 and 2, and row 1 and 2 is considered the first row. Yes, you can use fire line. I would suggest 6 to 8 pound fire line for it. Okay, so for row 1, it's picking up an A, 2B, 2A, 2B, 2A, 2B, and 1A. So this is my first row, but I'm going to show you something that'll make it a little bit easier for you here. I have my needle already threaded. It's got a little over 2 foot, not 2 yards, but 2 foot. Okay, so go A and B. So I thread on 1A, 2B, 2A, 2B, 2A, 2B, and 1A. So this is what I have so far here. You can see I have 3 sets of white and basically 4 little sections of my peachy pink color here. So you can actually put this on as a stop bead if you want to, but I do the whole thing and don't really worry about it. Okay, so I'm only going to use the tail to stitch through a little bit. So I'm going to take and leave about 6 inches here, not too much. And I'm going to hold on to my beads. So I'm going to pick up, we're going to be doing diagonals basically. So for row 2, it is pick up a B. I have to skip the A and go through the next B. So just that 1 bead there. This is even count peyote stitch. Anytime you follow a pattern, you just want to be careful that you keep the beads on the correct side so that they don't get mixed up. So that white bead that I just picked up, I have to make sure it stays on this side. Okay, the next bead I'm going to pick up is an A. So I pick up 1A. I'm going to skip 1 bead and I'm going to go through the next bead. No, I'm on my phone. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get it as close as I can here for you. Is this better?
Yeah, it looks better.
Okay. All right. So get my beads down here. So pretty much the great thing about this is every other one you're picking up. So I started white, peach. Now I'm going to pick up a white bead, so my B. So pick up a B, skip an A, and go through the next B. I'm going to hold it in place here, pull this thread, pop that in place. Okay, what do you think we're gonna pick up next? I'm at a peach, coming up to a peach set, so I'm gonna pick up an A. I'm going to skip a B and go through the next A. And again, this word chart is free on my website. I already have them on there, so you can download away completely for free. Okay, I'm going to skip a bead, go through a bead. I'm just picking up as I go through, alternating white, peach, white, peach, white, peach. Okay, so last one here, I'm going to pick up an A, which is that peach color. Peggy, I'm so glad you're enjoying this. Okay, I'm going to skip a bead and go through a bead. Pull it through so that now you can see the row is peach, white, peach, white, peach, white. Okay, now we're going to work down the other direction. Okay, so I'm going to pick up a white, a peach, a white, a peach, a white, and a peach. This 2-color is a really, really simple pattern. So basically for this one, I pick up my bead and I'm going to go through the bead that's sticking up. So I'm going to go through this one right here. I'm going to put my finger on it as I pull the bead and I pull the thread through, so that'll keep it straight. Okay, so now I'm coming out of a peach bead, so I'm going to pick up a peach bead. So I've got the peach and I'm going to come through the white, and you'll start to see the pattern as I do this. Okay, so you can see that pattern kind of emerging there. Makes it a little bit easier once you get to this point because you can really see kind of what you're doing. Okay, so I'm coming out of the white, so I'm going to pick up a white, go through the peach. I've got the peach there. I'm going to pick up a peach and go through the white. Pick up the white. Go through the peach. Get it out here. And then one more. I've got a peach. And I'm going to go through the white. Okay, so any questions so far? You can see now that stripe pattern has really come into play. It's pretty simple now at this point because you can pretty much just look at it and know what you're going to pick up. Your beads will alternate here on the edges as well. So I've got peach, white. You can see here my diagonal, so I'm going to put a peach right here. Okay, if I can get it there. Now you see the white diagonal. And I'm going to go through this one. Jason, I cannot sit this down right now, but I will show you in just a few minutes. You can always catch what we're doing on the replay as well. Okay, so here is one peach. Sorry about that. So you can see all I'm doing, I'm picking up one bead, I'm going through the next bead, whole 9 yards. And again, you just want to keep it pulled tight so that you have a nice tight bead. Now here's the thing. If you want to, you can continue this. It doesn't have to be a beaded bead. You continue, and you could make a bracelet out of this if you wanted to. You would just need to make it to the length that you need it. So it's a real fun little project. And again, for those of you who are joining us late, this is just bead therapy hour or 30 minutes or whatever. It is basically a time that we're going to get together for the next week or so, and we are going to make a fun, easy project that you probably already have beads on hand for. So you can see now the pattern. Huh? Ree is watching. Hello, Ree. So you can see the pattern and how it's going. So you are going to continue on that pattern. Let me set this to the side. And again, here is what we're making, just a really simple tube tube, we're doing the 2-color. I also have the pattern for free for the 3-color on my website, again, which is off the Beaded Path beadstore.com. So you are going to continue this little pattern until you have 8 beads on each end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You want the beads to be opposite on the ends here. So see, like this end, these beads are sticking out and the opposite beads are sticking out on this side. And that's what you want to be able to zip this little tube together. Zipping the tube together is really simple. We're just going to kind of fold it together just like this. You can see my thread is coming out of the green bead here on the right. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to come through the turquoise on the left. Pull this through. Now, I'm not going to pull it tight yet because I want you to be able to see it. So now I'm going to come to the next bead here on the right, the beads that are sticking up. I'm basically just going to go from right to left, left to right, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, so bead is here. I'm going to come to the left side and go through that bead sticking up there so that as you pull it and you pull it tight, you can see it pulls them together there. If you want, if you can do it, sometimes it's hard. You can go through 2 beads at once. It's completely up to you. Okay, and so right and left, just going through these beads that are sticking up on each side. It's going to look like a jacket. You know how the little lining of our jacket or the zipper of our jacket is. That is basically what we're working on. Okay. Now, if you're a member of our Facebook group, you'll notice, and you've joined us for the last 2 days for our videos, you'll notice that this is exactly how we kind of set up the rings as well and zip up our rings. So I'm coming through the bead here on this right hand side, so I'm going to go through the bead here on the left. So that way it finishes up the zip, so you can't tell where I started and where I stopped. The only thing you have to complete is, if you look, all the beads here on the top are connected except for the first bead that I added and the last bead that I added here. So to finish it, I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to come down through this green bead here, the one on the right. Flip your thread in the way there. And I'm not pulling it tight because I want you to see it. Now I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to come through the bead here on the left, so that when I pull that and I pull both the threads to pull everything together, you'll see now that I have a completed tube bead. And when it's completely finished, this is what the tube looks like. A really, really easy little tube. So all I'm going to do now is, I don't ever do a knot here along the outside of my piece. And I want to show you why. If I can get it untangled here. I think we all know what that feels like. Okay, so I don't ever put knots in things like this, because when I go under the thread here and I leave my little loop, which I'm having, there we go. My thread's getting twisted, and I'll show you guys what to do about that if your thread gets twisted. Let me try and get it in there. I'll stick my needle in that little loop and pull, and when I pull, you see it leaves a little knot there. And I don't like the way that looks, because no matter how hard I tug in there, it's hard to get it to pull through. Now, if your thread gets twisted, start here at the bottom and just run your fingers down through it, and you can see now the twist is gone out of there, and I'm good to continue to work. So I'm just going to take the needle and I'm going to do now some stitching through my beads. I'm just going to take this thread and I'm going to stitch it through several beads to get rid of it. So, and I'm sorry, I'm so shaky. I'm having to do this around my little camera here, and it's a little bit harder. There we go. Okay, so like I came down through that one, then I'm going to come up through the green right here next to it. Okay, if anybody has any questions, please post, because Jenny is here and she's helping read some of these questions I'm trying to answer them live as we go through. Okay, and then I'll come down through the turquoise. Okay, and basically I'll just continue to stitch down through my beads until I'm rid of both of these threads. So like I said, your tube will end up just like this. Now let me find, okay. So you can see here, my little 2-color tube is a little, it's between the 1/2 and the 3/4. If you want a millimeter, you're looking at about 15 millimeters, okay? The 3-color one, like I said, I'll show you the sizing on that 3-color one again. It is almost 1 inch. Okay, is it a good idea to reinforce the joint? Yes, you can definitely do that. And Jenny, I think, did somebody just say hey to you?
Hey, Catherine.
Oh, Catherine, she's with us today. Okay, so when you get your tubes done, and I'm actually going to cut this one apart because I forgot to bring any little bicones up here. And I mean, at this point, you would just be sitting here waiting. So I'm going to cut this one apart. And don't anybody flip that on me. It's super easy here. Okay, that way I can use, and look at that. Look how cheap these little things are. Oh, I'm good, thank you. Lord, that's the last time I used them little things. I bought them things over in Prague. Good Lord. Okay, so I take my head pin. I'm going to thread on a 4mm bicone. Now, here's the thing. If you are loosey-goosey on your tension and you've got a squishy bead, you may need a bigger bicone. So just be aware of that. You may need to bump up to like a 5 or a 6mm. But I've got my bicone, I've got my tube, and I've got my bicone. Now I'm going to use my trusty round nose pliers here. I'm going to make sure the bead is pushed down into that tube, and then you want to bend the wire straight out to a 90-degree angle, just like this. And then you're going to make a loop. And oh my Lord, this is so hard around this camera. Okay, so I'm going to do a loop I don't normally do here. I'm going to bend the wire back around so it looks just like this, and then I'm going to do the wrap. I definitely recommend wrap loops on these because of the fact that you've put the time and the effort into these and you do not want to lose them. Okay, so I'm going to take my cutters. Going to do that right there. And then it was just attaching ear hooks. Yes, you could definitely make these into a bracelet or an earring to do any of that. Could you use Fireline to attach the beer one? Oh Lord Jesus, my brain is not. Wait, what does it say? I can't finish reading it. It's done gone. What was the question?
About making it into a bracelet?
Can you use Fireline to what?
To attach the big one in the ear wire.
You could. My worry would be that your crystal over time would cut that thread, and then the whole thing would kind of come apart. So that would be the thing that would worry me. So you can see, super easy to do the tubes. The 3-color one is done exactly like this one. It's just a longer tube. And again, that is to be able to get the 3 colors in. So I'm going to turn the camera around here real quick. So if you get motion sickness, turn your head for 1 minute. Okay. All right, Heather says, I purchased the little bead house and pattern you mentioned yesterday. I'm loving using the tail thread method for odd count peyote. That's fantastic. I'm so happy to hear that. And for those of you who have no clue what we're talking about, I purchased this pattern from threadabead.com. And you can see it's a little cute 3-dimensional birdhouse. And you can see you even get the pattern for these cute little birds here. Super, super fun. How I learned that odd count peyote was from the roof here. You have to do the roof in odd count peyote, and that was how I learned to do that one. And before I forget, I know I got a lot of questions yesterday. My bracelets are bead crochet. You could also do them in kumihimo if you wanted to as well. Any suggestions on something other than bicones, something maybe more flat? If you have any rondelles, you could definitely use those. The only problem with using a flat spacer instead of like a hishi or a rondelle or something like that is your tube is going to move constantly. Putting the bicone inside the tube allows that tube stability so that the tube won't actually move around. So especially if you're going to make a bracelet, you will want to put the, yeah, and if you don't want to use a bicone, you could also use a fire polish bead. Pretty much anything you have that's going to fit into the ends of those tubes so that the tube won't move and it'll give it some stability. So what I'll try to do tomorrow, I will try to remember, I actually have a bracelet made with these tubes. I will try to remember to bring that and show you that tomorrow so that you'll have it and you'll be able to see it. So come back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That means I'm on the eastern seaboard of the United States. So come back tomorrow and we will do it again. I'm going to try to do this at least for another week. Do bead therapy Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. And then we'll have to see how long we're all quarantined and what is it called? What's the word? Self-isolate maybe from each other. So we will see. Bernadette, what did Bernadette just ask? How many rows? 16. Bernadette, there are 16 in the 2-color one. Okay. And there are 18 in the 3-color one. And again, guys, you can get these on my website, which is off the beadedpathbeadstore.com. And no, I can't get rid of the crop sides because I'm doing this in portrait. To do the non-crop sides, I have to do it in landscape, and I'm afraid that my whole little thing would topple over and you guys would just be sick from seeing all the motions. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching first ever YouTube live, and I hope to see you again tomorrow at 1 p.m. for bead therapy. And remember, guys, this is totally temporary. We're gonna get through this. Live your lives with lots of joy, and thank you for joining. Okay, now I have to figure out how to finish it. It didn't tell me that. There we go.